Number 1. Mastery of Lee's just frame inputs. If you play Lee and you don't use his just frame inputs, you're not playing Lee, bro. You're learning Lee. This character highly rewards those that have mastered the just frame inputs. You get a huge reward for landing Lee's just frame inputs, and you lose out a lot of damage if you don't. So for example, forward 2, if you do the just frame input, you get a knockdown that gives you a guaranteed forward 3, does more damage. If you don't do the just frame version, you just get some plus frames and nothing else. Back 112 is another example. This one will give you like 33 damage with no just frame input, or the just frame version gives you 41 as well as giving you a war splat. So like this is not even up for debate. You have to learn Lee's just frame inputs. You have to master Lee's just frame inputs, because this man is very rewarding when you do master these inputs. He has one of, if not the best 10 frame punisher in the game as well, which is, surprise surprise, a just frame input as well. So if you're picking up Lee, or just thinking of picking up this character, spending hella time in practice mode, just practicing the just frame inputs is something you have to take time learning, something you have to dedicate to actually when learning these characters. Don't sleep on the just frame inputs. It's actually a clutch if you don't do it. This is again a must learn skill with Lee. You have to master those just frame inputs. Sticking to the subject of Lee's just frame moves, Lee's hit actually gives you the benefit of just frame moves when you don't actually do the just frame moves. Like the regular versions will come out as the just frame versions of themselves if you don't do the just frame versions at the cost of your hit. So now, whilst this might sound good on paper, right, it sounds strong. Okay, I can get my 10 frame punisher for free at the cost of my hit gauge. That sounds pretty cool. It's actually a clutch, because at the end of the day, you are losing hit, bro. You're losing hit, and Lee did actually get some buffs to his hit. He has 2 decently strong moves I'll talk about later that you can use whilst in hit, so you should save your hit for these powerful moves depending on the situation. So this is the game actually encouraging you as well to pay attention to these just frame versions. Like, take your time to actually learn, master these just frame versions of the moves, because if you go into hit, bro, and you don't land these just frame moves, you're losing hit, and we all know how overpowered hit is in this fucking game. So again, must learn the just frame Lee inputs. It's not up for debate. So earlier I talked about how Lee has one of, if not the best 10 frame punisher in the game. So it's a just frame input that gives you a blazing kick follow-up. You can get up to, I think, 47 damage from a 10 frame punisher. Is actually fucking insane, bro. That is insane. However, the only problem is the blazing kick follow-up is very difficult to do. It's very difficult actually. So there's a trick that Lee mains use, and this is by using special style. So what you should do is bind special style to one of your keys on your controller, whichever key you find comfortable. I find L3 most comfortable. So what you want to do is, when you land your 10 frame punisher, so 1333, you activate special style. In my case, I click L3 and then input the blazing kick. The blazing kick input for when you are in special style is forward 2 or forward triangle. So 10 frame punisher, activate special style into blazing kick forward triangle, then turn it off again. It's a cheap way to really get the max damage. You can say it's an exploit, but hey, it's in the game, bro. You blame Namco. Don't hit the player, hit the game. So this is an easy way to get the guaranteed full damage. But if you find this really annoying to do, you can still use up back 3 as a follow-up after the 10 frame punisher. It's only a 3 damage difference, so not so much. But at high level ranks in tournament, you want to maximize as much damage as possible, and this is by using the full blazing kick follow-up after the 10 frame punisher. Lee is also one of, if not the best counter hit launching character in the game, mostly rivaled by Brian and King. This man has so many different counter hit launchers for so many different situations. It's insane. I think that's one thing a lot of Lee players don't appreciate about this character. Tekken 8 is in short supply of defense, so having a plethora of counter hit launching tools is a goddamn privilege. Y'all should be grateful all my days. He's got down 3, a high crash launching counter hit launcher. He's got back 4 for keep out, insane damage from this counter hit. He's got a safe hold homing counter hit launching mid. Let me say that again, a safe homing counter hit launching mid. That's just ridiculous. He's also the only character in the game that still has an 11 frame launching magic 4. Most of these were taken out in the game. Only Lee actually survives. It's not the same as it used to be, but he still has it. It comes with a bit of a risk, but he can have some mix-ups with this counter hit launcher now. But again, he is still the only character that has this. So this is a very strong aspect about Lee that I feel as though Lee mains don't appreciate and take advantage of. Guys, you have a lot of defensive tools. It's very difficult to just rush in against Lee because of like back 4 and 2-2-3, you know, all these counter hit moves. People have to be so cautious about dealing with this character, so take advantage of this. Different counter hit tools for different situations. Not many characters can say that about their kit. Sticking to the subject of counter hit tools, there are a few of them that deserve their own spotlight, starting with back 4, the classic back 4, bro. Tale as old as time. This move been godlike since like what, Tekken 6? It's so freaking good. So back 4 is used like for zone, right? A keep out too. So you know how people complain that there are some moves in this game that feel magnetic, right? Moves like down 4-2s, the electric, Horang's just frame skyrocket, Raven's QCF4. Like these moves have this weird thing where they just pull you in, right? And back 4 also falls into that category, bro. Like for some reason, people just run into this move. Like its hitbox is just weird. It's got so much evasion. It's difficult to whiff punish. Like unless you're expecting it, even but it's just overall difficult to punish because it has some pushback when he goes into Hitman stance. He can step in Hitman as well. So you have to be very careful on how you approach, what punish you throw out after you see back 4. It's just a very difficult move to punish. Okay, so this move is amazing for keep out for that particular aspect. Just back 4 for keep out. Like Lee has this wall you have to break when he keeps spamming back 4. You have to pick and choose your moments, and it's so freaking strong you have no idea. Like if you know how down 4-2s work in this game for keep out, it's basically the same thing, except this is a counter hit launcher that does a shitload of damage. So Lee mains, use your back 4s, bro. Use your back 4s. Another of Lee's counter hit tools that deserves the spotlight is his 1+2. I touched upon this a bit earlier. So this move is a safe mid homing that launches on counter hit, -1 on block, +3 if you go into Hitman stance. Now what makes this move so special? What makes this counter hit move in particular unique to Lee? Well, a lot of characters in Tekken 7 had these big homing moves that launched on counter hit. So characters like Lily with down forward 3, King with forward 1, Poe I believe had up back 2 which used to launch on counter hit, a homing move. So most of these tools were nerfed going into Tekken 8, but Lee kept his. The only other character that has something similar is Nina. Nina has down back 2, which I don't know why she still has that, but it's a bit slow compared to Lee's 1+2. So this is what makes this move so unique and so special. Movement in this game is the best layer of defense. It has to, outside of the backdashing, sidestepping is the best layer of defense, and being able to nullify that with homing moves is so freaking strong. And Lee has a counter hit homing move from this. Safe counter hit homing move. Like this makes this so insane. The value this character has from this move is just out of this freaking world. This move, guys, is so strong. Stepping should not be an issue when you're playing Lee, because again, you are +3 when you go into Hitman, guys. You are +3, right? So it's an amazing move. I see this at the highest of levels, but I don't see intermediate Lee players use this often. So this is another home move you must prioritize in your arsenal, just to stop movement and get those juicy ass counter hits. It's so strong, guys. Like it's so strong, it's not even funny. In Season 2, Lee got 2 new moves to use whilst in heat. So the first one is down forward 3+4. So this is a 16 frame fast homing move that's 0 on block and knocks down for a guaranteed blazing kick. Does about over 50 damage total, so it hits freaking hard. It hits hard. But I'll be honest with you guys, this move is not that good in terms of a hit mechanic, because there's just ridiculous stuff that other characters have. Like, think of Brian's back 1+2, for example. That shit is +4 on block, but like this is 0. So it doesn't really have that many use cases. I honestly think 1+2 is even better than down 40+4. I wish this move was a full crouch move. Then Lee would have a very scary full crouch mix up with this move that hits like what, 50 damage, but it doesn't really work like that. So you can actually, the best use case I found for this is using it from full crouch, kind of use it like a mix up to his slide, then do down 4 3+4 instead. So you can act as that mid Lee is missing for the good full crouch mix up. Not that easy to do, but you can still pull it off. His other move is down 1+2. This one is +6, knocks down for about 30 damage as well. Then it also takes him into Hitman stance. So this is basically just like down 4 3+4, except it's plus, right? So it just knocks down and you do damage. That's basically it. And this would have been very strong if Lee had a strong mix-up game, but like Lee doesn't really have that strong ass mix-up from standing, right? You're mostly worried about back 3-3, down 3. You're not worried about that big low like a hell sweep, right? So this mid doesn't really, it doesn't fit Lee in my opinion, right? So the best use case for this move is at the wall, because again you get a wall splat into some juicy ass combo damage, and just good for pressure, right? You want some plus frames, inflict some pressure, then down 1+2 is that move for you. As to which move is better, I think down 40+4 is better to use as a mix-up for the slide, but at the wall this move actually is better because of the plus frames. Lee is also one of the best characters in the game when it comes to high crash. Like, this character is actually insane. One of the biggest reasons why Mishiba players hate fighting Lee, because this character has so much shit that goes under electrics. So moves like down 2 can go under jabs, down 3, we'll talk about down 3 actually being a counter hit launcher, goes under jabs as well. He has Hitman 2, can go under jabs, commonly used after back 4, you know, back 4 into Hitman 2, because to crash jabs, very very strong. Forward 4, one of the best moves in the game, legit. This shit crashes jabs like crazy, will go under an electric, clean. He has back 4, has some kind of evasion. So when it comes to high crash, Lee is a beast. You should be winning those range 0, range 1 poking games, because the opponent has to be very cautious about how they approach you in terms of like one jab game. I've spoken about the one jab. If you haven't seen the video, please do check out my tutorial playlist. I have that video there. The one jab game is very strong, but against Lee you have to be very very careful, because this man's just crushes everything. High crash game on flick. This man's is godlike. So take advantage of these tools that Lee has as well. Win those one jab games at close range. Okay, so we've talked about how Lee is one of the best counter hit launching characters in the game. We've talked about how Lee has one of the best high crash in the game. We've talked about how Lee has one of the best homing move in the game. So all these combine together to make him one of the best defensive characters in Tekken 8. Defense is on high demand right now in this game because of how insane the offense is. It's like high octane gameplay. Well, you can't do a lot of that against characters like Lee. You can't do a lot of that against characters like Brian. Steve, not so much. So Lee is a character that offers very good defensive utility in this game. Yes, offense outweighs defense in Tekken 8, but that does not mean defense is useless. Defense can actually play a huge role. I'm very comfortable at playing Leroy in this game because Leroy has some pretty good defensive options. So this man has a good power crash, he has good counter hit tools, very good high crash, good keep out, he has a nice punch parry. Like, he is a very good character for defense in general. So this is one thing you should use to your advantage as well. Not many characters have that many defensive options outside of just power crash, spam and movement, right? It's very difficult in this game, but with Lee you have a plethora of options to deal with a lot of bullshit in Tekken 8. So don't forget about this aspect of Lee. It's not just about offense, guys. Defense still plays a huge role in Tekken 8 as well. And lastly, I want to talk about impatience. A lot of Lee players are very impatient with this character and that gets them killed, and it's mostly because of how Lee plays. So if you look at Lee, like Lee does not really hit hard. If you take a look at his lows, this character does not have any hard hitting lows or lows that knock down for that matter. You don't have like a Brian Hatchet kick or like a Raven Hell Sweep, right? So most of the times it feels as though you're chipping down a tree that just hits way harder than you, bro. Like that's what it feels like with this character, and for that reason Lee players get frustrated and start taking huge risks, which gets them killed. So you have to be very patient with Lee. He's meant to play this way, maybe not implemented good in this game, because I feel as though those hit moves he got should have been something better, like a power low. Like, you know how Hwoarang has this juiced up hell sweep whilst in hit? I think Lee needed that instead. Give him a juiced up low whilst in hit, the same way he has a juiced up hit smash that gives him a low, right? So this is one thing that's maybe not good about the character, but you have to work with what you have as a Lee player, and you have to be patient. I know it's hard and how aggressive this game is. Patience is not what you want, bro. You want to be in your opponent's face. So with Lee, it's like you have to chip down away, make your opponent press buttons, boom, get that juicy ass counter hit. So Lee mains, I'm sorry, but you have to work with what you have. So just be a little bit more patient and you will succeed with this character no matter how hard it is. His counter hits are still pretty scary in this game. So there you have it, Nemi gang, 10 Lee Chaolan essential tips that will 100% level up your game in Tekken 8 Season 2. If you want to see a part 2, let's get those likes up to 50, guys. Give me 50 likes. If the video does well, I'll drop a part 2, and who knows, maybe I might even drop a Lee guide soon. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment. Lee mains, is there something I missed, something else I should add on? You let your boy know. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing as well. I cover a bunch of Tekken content. I have a bunch of guides as well, and a bit of variety content like Path of Exile, RPGs, Monster Hunter coming soon, so you don't want to miss all of that. So thank you, Nemi gang, and may the Predator be ever in your favor. GG.